Am I confused? Yeah, I am. I have no clue what the fuck just happened. Either way, I don't need to know because it was cool nonetheless. So, FF7 Remake, the third game I have played in the Final Fantasy franchise. To start, I want to give my blunt and honest opinion on the game because I know a lot of people don't want to watch 10 minutes just to hear it. But it is solid. Confusing, but solid. I have played 14, 15, and now 7 Remake, and I can say that this one was the most confusing. It makes sense because it is linked to other games, and the title Remake isn't exactly true. Once again, if that was confusing, it's because it is. Now that I have given my overall impressions, I'm going to dive into the specifics about what I liked and didn't like. Keep in mind, I have played the DLC, but I am only going to talk about the base game for now. I'll talk about it later in the video. So to start, the story. I can't go super into detail for spoiler reasons, but I will cover my main thoughts. It was very good. I give it a big thumbs up. But since I haven't played any of the earlier games, I was confused. But luckily, I had a friend to answer any questions I had, and I had lots. I know originally the part we play in the remake was only like 5 hours in the original, but since I never played the original, it didn't bother me at all, and it actually made it more enjoyable because I felt more attached and will be once the rest of the game comes out. Once again, I want to say this story was good. It kept me engaged and had my attention for almost all the time I was playing. Now, moving on to the gameplay, I can confidently say that out of all the FF games I have played, this one has the smoothest combat. It's flowy and can feel completely different based on who you are playing, their weapon types, and even the gear. When I first started playing, I was really bad, but the game does a good job of helping me fully understand combat, and it felt really rewarding to see myself improve. Not to mention that the materia system makes it so that there are endless ways to enjoy the combat. Now, the graphics. They are really good. I was actually very surprised at moments just because I was in pure awe at how the game looked. I actually had moments where I would pause and just look around to enjoy everything I was looking at. And to top it all off, my game almost never started while playing. The cutscenes did, but I'm streaming on a 1 PC setup, so I don't think that counts. It is also nothing revolutionary, like there are definitely better looking games out there, but for me, since I have been playing 14 nonstop, it was really nice to be looking at good graphics. Next up is the sound design. It was very solid. I didn't have any moments where I thought things sounded out of place or were unnatural, which is very important in a game like this because it really makes you feel immersed. Now, if we're going to talk about the music, they went absolutely hog wild with some of the character themes. The fights alone were amazing, but man, did the music make it so much better. It's not just the character themes, but the whole game had good music. It just really shines in those moments. The characters. There wasn't a single one I didn't like. At first, I found a few annoying, but even those I ended up liking at some point in the game. The dialogue between characters is very cheesy at times, but after I played for a while, I more or less came to peace with it, and I even enjoyed a lot of the dialogue. Each character was unique, and all had something to enjoy about them, whether you find that thing early on or later in the game, it is there. Now, time to get to the bad. Honestly, there's really only one thing I didn't like about the game, and that was the primals. I was not a fan of a lot of the designs for the primals. They weren't necessarily bad, but when compared to other variants of them, they lack in this game. Of course, it all boils down to personal preference, but that's how I feel about them. So, in conclusion, I really liked the base game. It's nothing life-changing, but I had a good time playing it and would recommend it to people that even slightly like FF games. But now is the time for the meat. The DLC. It was amazing. Honestly, I would say better than the main game. The main person you play as is more just everything when you compare it to a lot of the characters in the main game. Not saying the characters were bad, of course, but they knocked her out of the park. Her design, personality, and moveset all were top-notch and extremely fun to experience. Now, the DLC was extremely short. I finished it in 4.5 hours, which is very short compared to the 30 hours I spent on the main game, but I give it a pass simply because in that short time, it added a lot to the main game and was just extremely fun to play. But that's it. That is my overall review of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just might play other FF games in the future, but only time will tell. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like, and don't forget that I stream the entirety of the game on Twitch, link in bio, and YouTube. So if you enjoyed the content and want to see more, that's where you'll find me. I stream every day, and hope to see you all sometime. Bye bye. Why drink water when I could drink Schlatt's titty milk? Never.